Greetings to all melanated people all around the world, and greetings to all people in general all around the world. And let me clearly state that when I mention melanated people or black people, it is because I've been commissioned to bring a message of truth, deliverance and emancipation to them. But yet this message is for each and every one who will have an open mind to be willing to accept the truth and to accept what is being revealed in this time and this season, so that they can transcend and go beyond the camp. Now I want to reach out to all followers of William Branham all around the world, and more specifically to my brothers and sisters at the Toilexers Assembly in Trinidad and Tobago and in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Okay, many all around the world believe William Branham to be a prophet, and I'm not gonna go against that. The only thing I'm gonna say is that William Branham had an audible message and a message of symbology, and the message of symbology was the exoteric side of the message. Sorry, the message of symbology was the esoteric side of the message, and the audible message was the message of the exoteric, and it had to be done like that because the Bible is a parabolic book. Galatians 4:24 tells it's allegory. It is symbolic, and the Hebrew language, the original Hebrew language, was not a language that you explore with the breath. It was a language of symbology. It was a mystical language, and it takes prophets and mystics to interpret it for you, because they have to have the experience, and the experience will bring them to unveil the written word. So basically it is the living word revealing the written word. Now, with all of that being said, I want to speak to you concerning William Branham and Geronimo. And William Branham's mother was actually a Cherokee Indian, and his father was an Irishman. Okay? And William Branham had a nature of that of his ancestors and on his mother's side, and they being the original people of America, the true descendants, and they are basically black people, because there are many different shades of black or melanated people, but they were more melanated than the Caucasian, who would have traveled from Europe and come over and destroy nature, kill off the buffaloes and so on, and bring their mentality with them of deforestation and so on, and hybriding and genetic engineering, because you cannot check the laws of the universe. Every species will always reproduce of its own kind in every seed, and you can look at the life of hybridization. Okay? And so William Branham clearly stated that the white man, that he was the rascal, and that Geronimo was not a renegade, that Geronimo was defending his people. Just as when I open my mouth and speak, some could get the wrong idea or the wrong message and they can prejudice against someone based on the color of their skin or some race, which I do not have that concept, because I've come to understand that everything is mental. I come to understand the law of mentalism, that everything have to first be a thought, And that your thought is what is creating your reality. So, with all of that being said, I want to say to you that William Branham was showing us a lot of things in symbol. And that is why the esoteric side of the message was hidden from black people specifically. So that they will not understand the psychological meaning of the Bible. That the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically. And that we are to believe in our own selves, to find the Creator in us, and to seek for us the kingdom. And all these things will be added unto us. And William Branham hit it when he said that when the bride come to know herself, because it is basically speaking about the feminine energy that will awaken a people, that will come to know who they are and the power that is in them, and that they can create their reality consciously. And such mysteries all over the Bible. That's why it is said in the Bible that as you believe, so shall it be done unto you. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. And there's a lot of polarity, that everything has its opposite. That's why we have a lower self and a higher self. That's why we have to have a people who's against nature. And there must be a people who are aligned with nature. That's why William Branham was teaching how we must be aligned with nature. So when the bull was coming towards him, he could have shown that love. Yet, the Caucasian is the one who owns so many slaughterhouses all around the world. Now they bring a documentary called Earthlings. And you have to understand, decode that, and what they're trying to do to people and their emotion. Yet, we were supposed to eat a plant-based diet. So you see why you have to be so enlightened in these times. And so, my brother and my sisters, we have to align ourselves back to nature to find the Creator in us. And that is why when William Branham shared his experiences, he was teaching you and showing you that he was living a life of isolation. That's why he told you it was out in nature that he heard the whirlwind. And it was in a tree. And a tree is a symbol of a person. It's just a symbol of a person. That you will hear that same man only when in you. And you will experience acts too, because you will come to dwell in the place of the upper room, the place of higher consciousness, and you will have a universal message that those of other tongue will hear you, because you will discover the I am as the universal question. And the universal answer is this: I am that I am. I am whatever I believe myself to be. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You discover the love mentalism. You will discover that everything was false thought, everything was false imagined, and everything else that ever going to be made must false be imagined. And that's St. John 1 chapter 1, and verse 3 is speaking of your own human imagination when it says, without him there isn't anything made that was made, and that all thing was made by him, Tell me of one thing that was made that was first imagined. Tell me of one thing that ever going to be made that must not first be imagined. The entire Bible is speaking about the imagination of man, the creator in man. Because all things exist in the human imagination. Everything exists in the mind of man. And so, my brother and my sisters, when William Branham tell you that the white man or the Caucasian man is the real renegade and not Geronimo, you will come to discover that they misinterpret the Bible for you to make you believe that it is secular history, when it is basically salvation story that must be interpreted psychologically. Okay, and Galatians 4:24 tell you it's all an allegory. And if the story of Abraham is an allegory, the story of the Christ is also an allegory, because it claims that Christ came through that same lineage. So my brother, my sisters, there's no historical Christ. There have never been any historical Christ. And when you talk about the coming of Christ or the second coming of Christ, it is speaking about your new birth. It is speaking about St. John chapter 3. Okay, I won't go into all of that right now. I think I got my message across to you. I want to thank you very much for listening to me. And as usual, I always and will always give you the sign of the one eye, the true eye, the third eye, the fourth eye, the supernatural eye, the rising of the sun. Where it says in Matthew 6:20, if your eye be single, your whole body will be full of light. And that's why I am shining my light for the whole world to see, because I don't light my candle and put it on a bushel. And if you have something that is more light than what I am saying, please feel free to shine it. With that being said, I want to say peace, love you, I'm out.